this going here. Alrighty. Alright, so let me move this over just a little tiny bit. Okay, we're going to learn how to draw what we see. I'm going to work on project 1 and 2 today. I may do a few other chapters, not sure yet, but if I do, I will stop the stream and then restart it again so it's in different increments. So we're going to work on project 1 first. Let me get to the page here. So part 1, fundamentals of drawing. I will read from the book first, and then we can work on some projects together if anybody's up to it. I believe that you learn to draw things as you see realistically. That is, you must reproduce the dimensions and proportions of a given subject. To render a faithful, realistic drawing, you must be above to observe the basic structure of an object, regardless how complex and obscured by detail it may be. You must train not only your hands but your eyes as well. However, the ability to depict an object literally doesn't make you an artist. No one ever claimed that the faithful duplication of nature, an impossible task away anyway, produces art. But the ability to draw things as you see them is the first step toward becoming an artist. In other words, throughout this book, you'll learn to draw realistically. The objects before you will dictate what you should do, and the result will be literally representation of the object. When you finish the object in this book, you'll be equipped with the necessary skills to enable you to express yourself as an artist. Having learned the fundamentals, the crafts of drawing, you'll have the solid point of departure from which to create. Then, if you wish, you can leave a literal imitation of a subject to the students behind you. So we're going to get into the basic structures of objects in chapter 1. So here they have diagrams, and we're going to go over these as we go. Okay, hold on. I need to chop this up a slight bit. So I'm going to set my gel pad here just to pick up the book a little bit so I don't have to lift it up to read it. Okay. Every object that you see has a structure or form based on either the cube, the cylinder, the cone, or the sphere. Any object may be based on one or a combination of these 4 geometric solids. A solid, for our graphic purposes, means an object that has 3 dimensions: height, width, and depth. Basic structure doesn't mean that it does sorry. Basic structure doesn't mean that things are geometrically perfect cubes, cylinders, cones, or spheres. There can be, of course, for an example, a square box, a round can, or an ice cream cone. It means the objects are based on these 4 geometric solids. The shape of the object is modified in various ways that depart from the strict geometrical form in figure A, which this is figure A. This principle was a revelation to me. I found that I could concentrate on overall dimensions of an object, then at my leisure I could add whatever details I wanted to include an addition between the four basic geometric forms or solid, three-dimensional, you can get a feeling for the bulk and the weight of everything you draw. In the next three projects, we'll explore the first of these basic forms. The cube will flatten it down, put it up, or lengthen it, depending on our needs for representing an actual object. Figure B, C, and D, and E, which is on the next page, and we'll get to that. There are so many things that have the cube as their basic shapes that it seems logical to begin with it. But before you can draw cubes, you must practice drawing straight lines that form them. Drawing straight lines. As you need to do exercises in this project is a standard office pencil or a pad and drawing paper. I've used a Coconur number 555, grade number 2 pencil, and a number 307 Ad Art layout and a visualizing pad made by the Ben Feng Company. The range of pencils and drawing papers is so wide that I won't even attempt to enumerate them. Actually, for the first explorations, most any pencil and any type of paper will do. Later, we'll do more discriminating. We'll get to that once I finish reading the one chapter, and then I'll go over a few things. Drawing lines freehand. Since the first objects you're going to draw require primarily straight lines, let's look into ways of making them without any mechanical aids. I want you to draw them freehand. It's awkward and impractical to do encumbered with rulers and triangles as you sketch periodically outdoors. Besides, there's a certain life of vibrancy to the line drawn freehand when compared to the cold and mechanical line made with the ruler. Holding a pencil. Drawing a straight line, despite the old saw about it was being awful difficult to ease and fun to do if you use the right approach. Begin this begin this very moment doing procrastinate. Oh, not doing. Don't procrastinate. Sorry about that. It doesn't matter in the least if the way you hold your pencil isn't the same as mine. Hold your pencil in the usual writing position or under the palm, whichever feels more comfortable. Swing the straight lines from the elbow, not from the wrist. Swinging from the wrist will make your strokes too short and your line will be choppy and labored. So what they're talking about, you move your whole arm, your elbow like this. You don't go like this to draw. Even though you're going to do small things, and of course you're just going to very small. But when you do, good morning, Knitaholic, how are you? Or afternoon, sorry. It is afternoon, my bad. Okay, so the next part will be angle and direction of lines. I am doing a recording at the moment. I'm doing project 1 and 2, and then I will stop the program and then restart it again so I can continue on chapters. But I will go over a few things in the chapter after I read each chapter, which is a project. Okay, angle and direction of lines. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them. After I finish the page, I will read or gradually look up and see what's up there. Angle and directions of lines. By practicing, you'll discover the best angle at which you can draw straight lines. Then all of you have to do is to turn the paper and execute a horizontal, a vertical, or a diagonal line. Try them all. My own personal choice is in the northeasterly direction. Begin at the southwest. Your favorite direction may turn out to be the same, or it may be a horizontal line that runs from the west to east. The direction of the lines isn't important. It's the spontaneity and directness of the line and that really matters. So what they're talking about are these lines here to practice when you move your whole forehand and up to your elbow, not your whole arm, your wrist. Well, actually, your arm, you can move your whole arm to move instead of bending your elbow also. But they don't state that here. But they don't want you to bend your wrist like this because then it doesn't make accurate lines. I have done these practices many, many times, and all artists should, to get the hang of how far you want to go with the line and how short you want to go. I mean, you can go like from here to here and still make a straight line if you practice on moving from your elbow up to your hand and not your wrist. And it really works. Don't be timid and make short stabs at drawing lines. And see what they're saying. Dash them off with one stroke. No one is going to see or evaluate them. Relax, let yourself go, and swing away so that you can limber up your entire arm. And that's what I was saying about your whole arm. If you can draw a straight line in any question without turning the paper, you're to be envied. Find out right now if you're one of the fortunate few. All right, so that's the first chapter. I'm going to go ahead and read the second one. It's not very long. It's just 3 pages. And then I will go back to project 1, work on those, and then we'll go and we will work on the second project. Okay, I'm going to continue. This will only take me about 5 or 10 minutes. So if you will just bear with me for a moment and I'll get back to you guys. For this project, use the same pencil you'll use in project 1. And this is the eye level foundation and perspective, and this is what they're talking about, and below eye level. Okay, for this project, use the same pencil that you use in project 1, but once again, any office pencil will do. As a matter of fact, you'll use the simple pencil through succeeding projects until I ask you to change to another drawing medium. I myself is going to use a 6B, maybe sometimes a HB, which is lighter, but just so it shows on the camera here and you guys can see it, that's what I'm going to work with. It's my firm belief that students fail in their attempts at drawing because they're unaware of eye level. Actually, it's such a simple concept to seemingly obvious that perhaps it's this very quality that causes it to be overlooked. Eye level refers to the height as which your eyes observe an object. I suggest that you write this sentence and place it where you can see it often so that it becomes a part of you. It's the important to your development as an artist. So the sentence that they're talking about, eye level refers to the height at which your eyes observe an object. And that's something that every artist needs to remember. Changing shapes in eye level. To actually demonstrate that what I mean by eye level, I'd like you to lie prone on the floor. Notice that you see the bottom, not the top, of most objects. Now sit up and notice the difference. Move to a chair again and observe that, as you raise your eye level, the top planes of the objects come into view. If you were to climb a ladder, to the ceiling, everything below you would show its top plane. Sounds simple enough, doesn't it? Well, it is. Vanishing points. Vanishing points are this here when you go this way, and it gets smaller as you go. So that's what they're going to talk about. The cube forms in figure A is a scene at eye level and shows only two of its six sides. Its horizon, its uh, horizontal lines converge down to up, uh, to and up to their respective vanishing points. I stumbled in my words. I apologize for that. A vanishing point is an imaginary point on the eye level or horizon where the parallel edges of a cubic form appear to converge and meet. Covering lines, eye level, and vanishing points all add up to perspective. It's a word of Latin origin meaning to look through. In other words, they view an object as though it were transparent and you could see all of its sides, front and back. Actually, all you have to do is to draw an object in a perspective is to observe closely. What's the angle and length of one edge comparing to another? What's the length and width of a plane in relation to its neighbor? Asking yourself these kinds of questions as you view an object will help sharpen your powers of observation. The cubic form in figure B has all its lines rising to the vanishing point because figure B, so this one's C, that's going to be over here. Said B. Oh, maybe it's over here. Oh, this is what they're talking about here. Sorry about that. Okay, so figure B. Whoop. In the form of figure B has all its lines rising and vanishing points because I've placed the cubic below eye level. All the lines of the cube in figure C go down to their vanishing points because I've placed the cubic form above the eye level. And this is the cube, the figure C, this part here. In short, if the cubic form is at eye level, the lines that form the sides of the cube come down from the top edge and go up from the bottom edges to their vanishing points on the horizon. If the cubic form is below eye level, all converging lines go up to the vanishing points on the horizon. If the form is above eye level, all the coverage lines come down to the vanishing points on the horizon. Okay, now I'm going to talk about the cube in perspective. I've chosen a cube form as your first subject because it's the easiest to draw and you can put your straight lines to work. Furthermore, the cube demonstrates clearly the illusion of three dimensions, height, width, and depth, that you must convey on the flat surface of the paper. If you can portray these dimensions, you'll be able to draw realistically, no matter what the subject. So from this moment on, remember the three dimensions inherent in everything. Naturally, each dimension can vary. The height of a cubic object can be greater than its depth, or the width can be the largest dimension of the three, as long as you're aware of their relationship. You'll be amazed at the progress you'll make. Now take a box from your pantry, any box, regardless of the shape, and hold it. Hold it at eye level. Turn it so you can see only two sides of its side. Now we're talking about figure 8, and that would be this here, is what they're talking about. If the design on the package proves distracting, tear the paper covering off it and work with a bare box. Judging size and relationship. Let me reiterate the drawing realistically. I'm not sure what that means, but means drawing accurately. Oh, there they go. They explained it. Whatever proportions your box may have, check the relationship between one side and the other. Notice that in the box I've drawn in figure D, its length is about twice the width. The 3 boxes in figure D are seen at 3 different eye levels. Draw your box in the 3 different positions of figure D. You'll be employing now the figure D is this one here, just so you guys know. Another sip of my water. You'll be employing the method of drawing straight lines that you learned in Project 1. It won't matter at all if your box isn't the same shape as mine. The main thing is for you to be aware of the object's planes as you raise it or lower it above or below your level of vision. When you're satisfied that you can draw the cubic shape at your eye level, continue with views 2 and 3 of figure D. Refer back to the diagrams in figures A, B, and C, and we will go over that when we get there, after I'm done reading this. In the boxes you draw, be sure that the lines converging to vanishing points 1 and 2 are at the proper slant, even though the lines can't extend all the way to their respective vanishing point on the eye level, simply because the paper isn't big enough. Objects below eye level. Most of the objects you'll draw, at least at the beginning, will be indoors and below eye level, because interior furniture, rooms, etc., are scaled in the size that humans can manipulate. Therefore, the reasons for drawing objects below eye level is quite obvious. Look around you and notice that even as you sit, you can see the tops of tables, chairs, sofas, etc. When you can see the top of an object, it means that it is below the eye level or horizon, since most of the work you'll do will be from sitting or standing positions. I'd like you to observe the experience of things from the viewpoint. Practice exercises. Collect 4 boxes and draw them at a different distances below eye level. You might place them on top of one another and draw the most first. Remove it and draw the second, and so on, until you've drawn the 4th. Notice that as you come down to the lowest box, you see more of its top plane than you did on the first box. Compare the top planes of all 4 of them when you've finished. This one of the other to follow. Figures G and H are practice exercises, and you're indispensable. And they're indispensable. Unbelievable. I add my own words. Sorry. They aren't drawings worthy of being hung on a wall, and more than the pianist exercises would be performed in a concert hall. Yet, as you know, the pianist submits a daily practice not only to acquire his technique, but to sharpen and control it, even after he has mastered the instrument. Flip through the pages of this book if you haven't done so already, and you'll see that you're going to draw everything, not just boxes. But first, you must find your feet before you can run. So we're not going to go forward on these pages, but we will go back and do some practices here. We're going to do these practices for those that want to go over them, and that will be wonderful. So I will set my book here to the side. I have a clipboard here that I will do some drawings to go over the lessons that we are talking about. So let me get closer here. I do have, give me a second here. Where did I put it? I have another board. Where did I put it? Ah, it's right here. Of course, I have all kinds of papers in it. I can take those out because I am going to use it. Okay, so we're going to set this here so it doesn't hurt your eyes, and then my clip won't be in my way. And I have, these are newspaper prints that I'm going to use, newspaper print paper. Let me make sure nothing's on this. This one's my sample one. So we're going to use these, and for the larger things, I'm going to use the larger paper. Okay, so first we're going to start with You Can Talk Now, Knitaholic. I'm just going to go over a few things that I have here. Where's my book? So I don't throw anybody off. I want to work with first things first. I have a book here. Oh, I just did that one all the way in, didn't I? Bear with me here for a minute. Isis. No. Hey. No. If I can turn to this page here that I have. That's enough. Okay, so they're talking about, in the first chapter, basic structures and objects, drawing straight lines, drawing lines freehand, hold the pencil, angles and directions of lines. Okay, so I'm going to start with these sheets of paper here. I'm going to set one here so we can work with. Alright, now I can get my music going again. Alright, so the first one would be the box. I know that nobody knows how to do the box. I'm just going to, in case you're not an artist and so forth, that way you have an idea of what to do. Okay, so for a box, we first get a box picture here, like so. Okay, now what we want to do is make it a 3-dimension, which I know how to do it, but other people may not. The first chapter shows that it goes back like so. You want to make this line and this line the same distance, and this line the same angle these are, to make them match up together. Then you just come down with a straight line, go across with a straight line, and remember they were talking about not doing your wrist, and you do your elbow, your whole elbow thing. You can also use your arm, the whole arm, to do it, but not turning your wrist. You don't want to turn your wrist. So as you can see, this one kind of went up a little bit. So I'm going to go back and bring it down. Now if it didn't go up far enough, you just bring that up. And hopefully it will still look like a box. Okay, now we're going to put a line here, but we're going to do dotted lines to bring it together. And we want to do this line all the way up to where this goes straight down. This one, we want to go back the same angle as these, and this will automatically bring it closer. So that means that this, I did it too high. So I want to match that up. And then this one, we want to bring it down. And then we have, whoop, we have the box. Now it's 2-dimension. Now we have 3 sides. So it makes it more of a 3-dimension there. Okay. The other one would be the cylinder. Let's do that over here. So we're going to bring down 2 lines that are parallel to each other. And we're going to kind of round this off, or round it off this way. Then we're going to go around here. Then this one down here, we're going to do the same as that, but we're only going to do dots where it shows like that. Now, if you went too high to make it more of a circle, that won't be right. Because when you're looking up on top of something, say here's a glass. Let me bring this out. Okay, say you're looking at the glass like this. Okay, you don't see the whole thing. You only see almost like an egg shape. But if you bring it up more, you see it more of a circle. So those are the kind of things that you want to look at. Okay, so this is the wrong thing to do. You want to do, and bring it closer. Okay, so this part right here is the wrong thing to do. The one below it is the proper thing to do. Okay, the next subject is the cone that they were talking about in the first chapter. So we're going to do a cone, bring it down. Okay, for this part right here, we are going to make it round like the cylinder, and then we're going to pretend that we see the other side. And that makes it look like it's sitting flat. And I kind of there. That probably fits better right there. Okay. The next one is the sphere. You want to draw a circle. Okay. It's a little off, but straighten it out a little bit. Okay. Forget about that part. Then we're going to make lines coming down one way, lines coming down the other way. Same thing here. We're going to make lines go this way, and lines come this way. Now it makes it look like it's 2-dimension. You can see the inside, and it's round. Okay. Now the next one, we're going to use these objects here. We're going to use these, and we are going to make something from them. Let me get another sheet of paper. Widen that up a little bit so you can see that. Okay, so from these, we're going to make something from it. Okay, so now I am going to make a box, like so. We're going to do the sides. Remember, the sides go up. They're the same. And then we're going to bring this over, stop, and go over again. And we're going to make like a little tiny lip there. Alright. Then we're going to bring a line back over here. Same distance as this. Same angle. Everything. Then we're going to bring this across. Now, if you think about it, you put a line down this way, and you see that this is the inside. Now, we're going to put a lid on it. So we're going to bring this up. We're going to bring this up part of the way. I'm going to bring this across. I'm going to round this off. Round that off. And then we're going to bring a line straight. And I made a box from that. Now, say if we were in a classroom, you guys would be able to sit there and see the process and learn how to do that. Well, on the project 2, the next chapter, you'll see how we got to this. But just to get an idea, I did that. So the next one, we are going to do a can. So here's a cylinder, so we want to draw part of the cylinder. And bring it down. Cylinders are long, and we're going to do round off there. And then we're going to do round this way. Then we want to do the top also, just like we did up here. Okay, but this time we're not going to put the lines right here. Let me get closer on this. It's a little far. Oop, too far. Okay, my camera is not straight. There we go. Made me look like I was in an angle. Okay, so now, because I'm right-handed, I'm turning sideways. But if you can get used to drawing this way, then I would just leave it straight this way. Okay, now we're going to make a label. So we're going to come up a little ways, and we're going to make it round. And then we're going to come up a little bit more. I'm going to do the same thing right there. Then we're going to put a little circle thing here to make it look like it's a label. Okay. Then to make it more like a can, we're going to do another small, a little dab here, and we're going to turn it like a curve. You know, on the cans they have that bottom lip on it. And then we're going to do the same thing to the top. Now the top, because you can't see it, we're going to go around here, and it goes there, right? Now when you're looking at the top over here, it's on the inside. So we want to go from the inside and go around this way. And that makes it even more of a can. You see that? And look at that. Drew something from that. Okay, now we're going to go with the cone, and we're going to make something from the cone. Okay, so I'm going to bring this down here. Move my paper up so you can see it. Now with the cone, we're going to turn it the other way. We're going to have it this direction, right there. So we're going to turn it. So we're going to go this way, go up, right? And then we're going to go lightly with your pencil, just make a round curve. Oops, a round curve right there. Okay, and put this just a little bit closer so you can see what I'm doing. My paper is small. Now we're going to do a cone. So we're going to have ice cream dripping. Have ice cream dripping down here and go up. Then we're going to have like another drip. And then we're going to bring this line in just a little bit, just so you can see that it's actually has a drip going on. Same thing with this side. And then we're going to do just a little lines right there. Okay. Now you can change the form of the ice cream just to make it look more real. Okay. Now we're going to make lines going down this way, that way. We'll do it again. Now remember, the cone is round also, so you want to make it believable that it's round. And we'll bring it up that way and that way. And then there's, let's see, let's do it this way. There's your cone. We just flip this one around the other direction. Now we're going to do the sphere. Let's bring it over this way. Now we're going to do this one. Okay? So we're going to do a round circle, which is a sphere is what they call it. If I'm even saying it right, sphere. And then we're going to go like this. And then same thing this way. Well, that probably needs to come out more. And now you did a ball. Mine's a funny looking ball, but now you drew a ball. And those are just simple lines of what we're doing. Okay, so now we're going to work on something else. Okay, now we're going to do another set. So we did those. I'm going to put it behind my paper. We're going to go back to this first one again. And bring that back out. I'm going to get another sheet of paper. And now we're going to turn the box a different direction. Okay, now we're going to make it even shorter. We're going to cut it in half, more or less. Bring the line down, straight across. And we're going to go up this angle, and we're going to bring this down. So you see I went just a tad too far right there. Then we're going to bring this forward this way. Once again, and my lid might be too high. I don't know. Yeah, it's too high. It's supposed to be down more, but that's okay. And we're going to bring this here. That goes up, and that comes across. Then we're going to bring this down, and just so you can see the inside of the box. Now, the next chapter will kind of help you get to this part, but I'm just showing you some examples of what you can do with these objects here, just so you have an idea. The next one will be this one again. So instead of going straight down, we're going to go at a slant, sort of like a cone, but not exactly. We're going to bring it down just a little bit, and we're going to make it round there, make it round here, and then round there. And now you have a glass. If you were to put just a little tiny bit just to have an idea, now you have a glass in your hands. Okay. Now we're going to go and do the cone again. So we're going to actually flip this cone again like we did with the ice cream cone. We're going to have it this way. Okay. So we're going to come down and up. We're not going to close it all the way. Oops. We're not going to close it all the way. Then we're going to make a circle here. And then we're going to bring that down like a cylinder. And then we're going to make a circle again, like so, right? Then we're going to come around like so, and then like a cup, we're going to do the same thing. Then we're going to put a handle on it. Now you have a funnel. So there are things that can be made. Now we're going to do the sphere again. But only this time, well, I'll do the sphere. We're going to do a light circle. Okay. Then we're going to bring this in like so. We're going to do the other side the same way, or maybe a little bit more. Okay, and then we're going to bring this like so, and then we're going to put a stem. Look at that. We have an apple. And that's all it takes. You just take a little bit out of there, and the same thing. And that's how you change what you're drawing. So here's your ball, and here's your apple, just from the sphere. Okay, now we're going to go to the next project 2. Alright, so we're going to go to project 2. And project 2, we're going to work on boxes. Now, some of these are short boxes, like the first one that I made. This time, we're not making the inner lines. Now, the cylinder box, we'll make another one. It was longer, right? The front is straight. Same thing here. Now we're going to go, and like I said, the same angles. And then we go to cross. And then we come down. And there you have another box. Now we're going to do a shorter box, only it's going to look a different direction. Kind of slanted this way, like we did that other box. Come down. And then this one is going to be a longer box. Now, same thing, we're not doing the vanishing points yet. So you bring this over, same thing, same length, same angle, and connect. We're going to turn it a different direction again, but that has to come straight down. Straight down, connect, go up this way, straight down, connect. Then this line and this line needs to be the same. Oh, that went up a little bit. And it just takes more practice and practice and practice of that. Okay. So now that I've done those, I want to practice the lines. They were talking about draw lines freehand with one motion. The arrows indicate that I've drawn all these lines from left to right, obtaining the different angles, simple by turning the paper. Since there's hardly a drawing that doesn't require some straight lines, it's important to practice drawing them as often as possible. Okay, so we're going to put those here. So the lines that they're talking about, let me put here top. That way we know that it's the top. Okay, so the lines that they're talking about, you either hold your hand like so, or you hold your hand like so to do the lines. So we're going to go up, and you're not going to turn your wrist to do it. I should make that a little bit further here, so you see my hand. And I'll bring this up this way so you can see whether my hand turns like this, or you see my hand go like this. Oh, excuse me. So we're going to go up this way, okay? And you just keep making lines. And I'm not turning my wrist, I'm doing my whole arm with my elbow and doing the lines. Then you want to practice going downward. And you can see that the lines more or less go straight. Then you will also want to practice going straight down. Okay, this one went this way. this one went this direction. Then you want to practice going this direction. Oops, my hand's getting lazy, I guess. So I want to go like this. Not turning your wrist, just going straight down. Eventually, you'll get to where your lines will be parallel to each other, the same distance in between as you practice more. What other angle did we not do yet? Okay, now we need to go up angle this way. And go up, 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 up. And eventually, like I said, the distance will be the same because you get used to that. Let's try the next page. The eye level and foundation and perspective is project 2. So we're going to do that one. That one is going to require my larger paper. So let me get these away. Let me get my larger paper here. Okay. Let's bring this back out. Okay, and this one, I'm not going to use a ruler, but I'm going to use this thing. I don't recall what it's called, but drafters use it. Okay, so I'm only going to set one paper here. Now we're going to learn to do the foundation of perspective. So let me get my tape so I don't have to hold on to the paper. To make it easier to show you. So let me bring it over this way more. Now I don't need large pieces of tape, so not waste it. Since this is just for practice. All right. So to make a vanishing point, I am going to put the first one on top and do a dot here and a dot there. I'm going to use my HB pencil to make a line from there to there. Okay. Oh, you guys can't see it. So maybe not. It's not dark enough. So let's just do that one then. Okay, you guys can see that. All right, cool. Just bring that a little bit closer. And move that over a little bit. Okay, we're going to do another one down here. A dot here and a dot here. And then we're going to do another one down here. Dot here and a dot here. More or less in the same spots we did. Okay, the first one, okay, I'm not going to need this anymore. Okay, the first box, we're going to draw a line straight down, like so. Now, because we did this line, from there to this line, we're going to line up this ruler, line it up to the bottom right here. We're going to draw a line to that dot. Same thing to the other side, up here and back. We're going to do the same thing here. And here. Okay. Now we're going to Oh wow, they're going to be another line too here. What? Okay, they're wanting you to see the box completely. So we're going to have another line right here. It's a little bit shorter. And we're going to do the same thing with that one. Draw a line from there to the vanishing point. From here to the vanishing point. Same thing again. From here to the vanishing point. From here to the vanishing point. Okay. Now, let's see, how does that work? Okay, now we're going to put a line here. Now that line goes to this line, and then you'll see that your box is going to form. You want that line a little bit darker. Same thing with this one, a little bit darker. Okay. Then we're going to put a line over here to reach from this line to this line. Okay. Now we're going to darken this line here, and we're going to darken this line here. I'm going to darken this one and this one. Now you're going to see a 3-dimension. And then this one here is going to connect to there. This one is going to connect to here. Now you see the top, you see the bottom, you see the back, you see the side, and you see this side. Amazing, right? That's one. That would be your eye level. Directly straight eye level. Now we're going to do below eye level. So this would be eye level. Well, I hope I have enough room on this paper. This one will be below, and this one will be, oops, maybe I should put it right here, above. And where's my erasers? Erase this one. Here. Okay, so now we're going to do the other one, the below eye level. So we're going to put the box about right here. We're going to start with that one. That one's the closest one to you. Okay, so now we're going to make that line come here to here. This one the same. Over here. So the purpose of this is to see where the vanishing points are, which are way over here. That will bring this out right there. Okay, and then the next one we're going to do, we're going to bring this out right here. And this one right there. Okay, so now because of this one, we need to make a line here. Same thing with this one. Make a line there. So we're going to do the same thing with that one. A line. Same thing with the back one. And the vanishing point. A line. Like so. Okay, so now all these are lining up. Now where this one connects and that one connects will be a straight line. So we're going to bring a straight line down. So now if you darken this one, that one, this line, that line, kind of went crooked. Bring these lines in. And then one more. That line. And there's your below eye level. Now we're going to do the above eye level. So I'm going to bring this line, let's bring it up here. Same thing. And this is really, really important when you're drawing, to see the perspective every time. And this is with anything, not just boxes. It's with cylinders, the sphere, okay, we're going to make this one here and this one there. We're going to go the other direction. Okay, so same thing with this line. Bring that one over here. I need to sharpen my lead again. And then that line over here, same thing. Oh, not lined up. Okay, now we have the box formed in there. So now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to darken the line. Oh, we didn't put this one. See where they both meet right here? And put a straight line up. Up a little bit more. Alright, so now we're going to do the line here. Do the line here. Do the line there. 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 And there. And there you go. There's a perspective. Okay, so the next one we're going to do, let's take this one off. And I hope everyone is working on it at the same time. We're going to do another one. Bring this over. I'm going to turn this over because the paper is like, it's the same thing on both sides, so, but my paper is like warped, sort of, so I turn it over and it won't be as warped. Bring that smooth. Bring it over here. We're going to do this line again, so I need a large ruler. So I could do the large line. And I'm going to show you why. So we're going to put a line straight across. And we're going to make the perspective a little bit closer. Okay. This time, I won't need this one. We're going to make the first line a little bit larger. What happened? Did I hit my... What did this do? Like I just disappeared. Thin air. I must have hit my mouse. Yikes. That's not good. Alright. So, where I was. So now we're going to make this line a little bit larger, and we're going to do the perspective a little bit different here. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put these lines to the vanishing points. Same thing here. There. Here again, vanishing point. Again here to there. Let me sharpen this thing. Because I have a really super dull point here. It's making my lines thicker. There we go. nice fine point. Ta-da. All right, so now we're going to put a straight line here, a straight line there. Now we're going to do the same thing. Remember how we did the lines? Oops. Remember how we did the lines right in here? We're going to do the same thing. How I put these lines, they're going to go to the vanishing point from both sides. And then this one. And then from this one to here. And then from this side to here. Okay, now you can see where these two connect, which sort of looks off, doesn't it? Oh, I made it too, I think this line here was supposed to be closer. So how about this? I erase those lines. Let's erase all these. It should have been closer. I'm sorry. Bad information. Okay, so let me put this line back on here. Okay, we're going to work from this line and this line. And then that one to that one. Then right here where they cross each other, right here where it makes the X, right there makes the X, you just bring that down. And then we're going to darken these lines. Make that one darker. Make this one darker. Darken that one. That one. Now you see the whole box. But this time we are going to shade the top. And we're going to shade the bottom. And now you can see the top, the bottom, the side, an imaginary side, an imaginary side. Amazing, right? And that is it for this project. So I hope you enjoy it. You can always pause it or rewind it and go back. As we go further in the projects, it gets more intense. So we will work on that. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. And see you soon.